Peace, everyone. This is BlackHighPriestess. Um, I've just been thinking about some things and viewing some things, and I want to address a major misconception, particularly with Black women. And what I mean by that is it's no secret that Black women lose out when it comes to romantic prosperity, and I talk about that a lot with my brand and when dealing with spiritual topics of white supremacy and the spirituality of that, and how it affects Black femininity directly, and a lot of times how white supremacy will privilege Black masculinity to the detriment of Black femininity, and vice versa. When in a white supremacist society, you are only going to have one. You're only going to have one sex that is accepted at a time. So in a white supremacist society, when the Black man is accepted, the Black woman is rejected. If the Black woman is accepted, the Black man is rejected. The white supremacy thrives on the segregation of Black men and Black women and the integration of white people with Blacks. So when we're talking about a misconception with Black women, this is directly related to how white supremacy affects Black women in America, but also all over the globe, considering there's no place of refuge for Black people who are suffering. There's no nation of refuge where you can go and not have to deal with the marks of white supremacy, because Africa, spiritually, although physically, is dominated by Blacks. Africa spiritually, Black men in Africa are still just as bad in their treatment of Black women as Black men in America. So there's no place that a Black person can go and seek refuge from the grips of white supremacy, because spiritually, Black people all over the world are under a lot of white supremacist spells. And this deals with the Black people in power. There's no place that a Black woman can go where the people in power are not under the thumb of white supremacy somehow, spiritually or financially or politically. So, when I say something that affects a stigma with Black women have to deal with all of the labels we get called because of the conditions we're put in, knowing that our men are inferior. A lot of people don't like that word, but until we start using that word in reference to Black men, we're not going to solve the problem. As long as we keep calling Black men kings, that was cool in the 80s and 90s, when so much media was focused on degrading the Black man's image and degrading the Black woman's femininity into something hypersexualized and criminal. So in the 90s, when you took a slave degradation of Black people and a slave mentality that was propagated in every facet of media, it's beneficial to then call a Black woman a queen when Hollywood only depicts her as a prostitute. It's then beneficial to call a Black man a king when Hollywood only depicts him as a criminal or as a white man's lackey. and the black woman's only a side chick, or a supporting a maiden, a supporting maiden to the white queen of the house type of situation. And the black guy's always some white guy's lackey, So late 70s to early 2000s, it's beneficial for black people who are complete peasants and are bred with some of the most astounding ignorance on the face of the planet. It's been beneficial to lie to each other and say you're a king and you're a queen, because it changes the psychology that Hollywood propagates in the black person. But you get to early 2000s when black men effectively abandoned black women for Hollywood fame and fortune. And black men effectively replaced black women with white women in their songs and in their movies and in their stories and in their politics. So you fast forward 20 years of black men rejecting black women, degrading black women, and elevating white women as the new standard and his new queen. 20 years later, black women are still get all these labels and no respect. So the stigmas on black women is something that I want to address. And the main stigma is that black women are not attracted to eligible men. This is the biggest problem when it comes to how single black women are viewed, or how black women who have dealt with abuse or narcissism or some type of failed relationship or divorce and have dealt with trauma from an abusive relationship or marriage. A lot of times black women are stigmatized as only being attracted to thugs or lowlifes or deadbeats or jailbirds. That black women consciously actively choose to mate with and sleep with and even marry men of low class and low stature. And that's just a black woman's taste. Yet when a white woman is attracted to a black man, regardless of how pathetic he is socially, it's okay, because she should be attracted to a black man, because black men are somehow the sexual standard in America. The black masculinity is the sex symbol in America, right? So it's okay for women of higher class of better breeds. It's okay for women who come from a breed and a culture and a heritage where the men protect and provide for the women to now be attracted to a low life, to a man who comes from a heritage where the women protect and provide for the men. That's okay, because it's okay for a white woman to be attracted to a black man. But when a black woman wants a sexy black man, then she has bad taste. But then when a black woman marries a rich, handsome, good-looking white man who is groomed and bred to protect and provide for her and defend her honor and have the wealth that he can pass down to the children he gives her, then she's also labeled. So, a black woman's always stigmatized. The black woman is the only one who never gets the sexy black man. White women get to get sexy black men and get to take care of him financially and do all these things. to uplift him and even become a baby mama. But when a black woman does it because she wants to have that sexy black man, because she wants good sex and good dick, or she just wants to be with someone sexy, like all women do, she gets stigmatized as wanting a thug. But then when she does marry an eligible white man, she's stigmatized too. The reality of it is black women, like other women, want the sexiest men, want the most eligible men. But we never get to pick from those men because those men are for white women. No matter how broke and deadbeat and trash and low class they are. If the white woman wants the good sex, she gets to pick that man. Just like she did when she had her pick of the slave she wanted to have sex with on the slave plantation. So if the black woman on the slave plantation was attracted to that black guy, well, the daughter of the master gets to have sex with him, though. You see, when a black woman wants anything, black men hate her. Black men hate black women anyway. And the whole world knows and understands this. Because all over the world, you will hear black women complaining, and all over the world, you will hear white women happy. Because a black woman is the only woman in the world whose man openly hates her and degrades her for a chance to sleep with his enemy's wife, daughter, mother, sister. So the use of the word inferior in reference to the black man needs to be reinstated by black people. White people understood that the black man was inferior. White people call black men niggers and black women niggers. White women call black women niggers. Or whatever clever term, tar babies and whatever clever terms that they have for the color of our skin and the artistic heritage of our culture and the features that are common to the West African phenotype. But until black people start accepting the inferiority of the black man, we're not going to change, because we're treating the black man like he's a king, and the black man has not been a king since biblical days. Not in America. And from what I hear from black women in Africa, different parts of Africa, but especially the places where people are darker skinned, black men treat black women like trash over there too. Now, I will say this. I don't hear about African men treating white women like trophies the way that a black American man will treat a white woman like a trophy, no matter how pro-black he is, especially a pro-black man. Because the number one reason black men are pro-black is because he knows he's inferior and he needs to be part of a society that will lie to him and accept him as an inferior man. Black men out here who have nothing to prove are not inferior. So they don't have to go around treating a white woman like a trophy that he's won because he's so estranged from elite status. And he's so ignorant that he believes skin color determines a person's worth. But the average black man in America has a lot to prove, and he's broken. But if a black woman is still sexually attracted and still sexually wants a black man, She stigmatizes having poor taste, and you get what you deserve because you always choose. And here's my point. My point is, it's black men who are bitter at the black woman's preference. The black man loves when a white woman prefers him. But black men hate when black women openly prefer sexier black men, as opposed to these nerdy, geeky, swagless black men who are constantly complaining about the black woman's preference in black men. You like this type of man, you like that type of man. The black woman likes the same type of man that every woman likes, a masculine man. A masculine, rugged man who seems like he can fight for your honor, who can be rough in the bedroom as well as gentle. A man who walks with swag and suave and finesse. A man who is tall, dark, and handsome. A man who's a little rough around the edges. A man with some hair on his chest or on his face. But most importantly, on his head. So my point is, black men stigmatize black women for our preference, for our sexual preferences. And sexual means preference in the opposite sex. It could be the same sex too, but sex is directly related to the sex organs. Sex is directly related to whether you're male, female, or intersex, which means a hermaphrodite in Latin terms or Greek terms. Gender is masculine, feminine, or androgynous. Gender is how you express your sex and sexuality. But black men are so bitter and resentful of the fact that a black woman wants and deserves what she is sexually attracted to first and foremost. And the black men that are always complaining about what type of man that always gets played from black women, what type of, you always letting these type of guys use you, and you're always going for these type of guys, and then when they beat you, or they abuse you, or talk down to you, or when they cheat on you, or when they don't provide for you, or when they leave you with a baby to raise on your own, and this and that, it's your fault as a black woman for being attracted to the most attractive man around. It's your fault for wanting to have sex and have a relationship or make a relationship work with the sexiest brother around. But when a white woman does it, it's okay. She's not going after low life. She should be attracted to a thug. But a black woman, it's your fault that your love life sucks. It's your fault. Never mind white supremacy. Never mind the fact that the black man is inferior and the only eligible men are of another race. But the black woman wants what every other woman wants too. A tall, dark, and handsome man who is good in bed, who arouses her, who gives her that sense of risk and passion and lust. And the type of black men that are constantly complaining about a black woman's preference, and the type of black men that are constantly elevating white women who like black men, are the black men that black women are not attracted to. But a white woman who don't know any better and who has something to prove, she'll go for. And these are black men who are bald, black men who are short, black men who are dorky, not nerdy, where they have some sense of intelligence and a sense of a higher purpose, and are really into media and entertainment and fantasy. I'm not talking about nerds. I'm talking about a dorky black man who does not know how to approach a woman, who is not confident in his masculinity, who hides behind video games and his boys and this and that because he is not man enough or masculine enough or brave enough or courageous enough to approach a woman and let a woman know he's attracted to her and express his sexuality. Other types of black men who are constantly resentful of the fact that he is not a black woman's first choice. Black men who cannot fight. Black men who are fat, chubby, obese, unhealthy, or too skinny and look like they got tapeworms or look like they're crack babies because they are so skinny. They can make a 2-inch penis look big. These black men who look unhealthy, who don't look masculine, who don't look sexy, who look sickly because they're too fat or too skinny. And they don't have a good build and they don't have a muscular build. Other brothers, black men who are average and who will get picked by a black woman, but underneath the clothes, there's some issues going on. So black men who have small penises or who are just simply bad at sex. There are plenty of black men with large penises who are terrible at sex. And they will get cheated on. They will get left quickly because they can't keep a woman because they don't care about her sexual pleasure. So when she goes for Pookie down the street who knows how to work it and who knows how to eat her out and who rubs her back and appreciates every single last minute that he gets to spend with her, even though he may have a baby or baby mama here and he may be broke more often than not, he makes sure he has a little weed or a little drink or a little whatever that she enjoys, and he takes care of her sexually. And no, she may not ever be seen with him in public or she may be embarrassed to, but he's the brother who is laying the pipe. And these black men who have these clean, neat haircuts and these fancy cars, and some of them do work out and have nice bodies. But they resent the fact that the sisters are getting pregnant by Pookie and them because Pookie and them know how to lay the pipe and know how to put a woman first in and outside of the bedroom. So you see these resentful, you see the bitter is a word that is used to describe black women. Because everyone knows that a black woman is supposed to be smiley and happy all the time and be positive all the time. When the whole world hates us and our men join in and hate us. And we have no one but some invisible God that we're supposed to pray to all the time for help. Because that's every black woman. And when I say black, I mean black. I mean 3 times darker than a brown paper bag. Real black women. Not women passing as black who are not black. I'm talking about black women who never get represented in media, who never get represented as a standard of beauty, who when we are beautiful, we get erased. So no one knows that black women can be beautiful. Dark-skinned black women. We are the ones who are supposed to pray to some invisible God who clearly hates us like the rest of the world does. We're supposed to pray. Every other race of woman gets to sleep with the sexy black man. And we're supposed to pray to God until we die and sleep with curmudgeons. and sleep with trolls and sleep with frogs and sleep with the most undesirable men out here because he has a 6-figure income and because he drives a car and because he's a man of God and because, he's not a thug and he'll treat you right. Why on earth should black women have to settle for the most undesirable men when every other race of women gets to sleep with the finest black men on earth, no matter whether or not he's a thug or a wife beater or a child molester or whether he's broke and can't provide? She can enjoy that fruit, but the black woman has to make better choices in a man. We have to make better choices in the men that are not here for us. And when that fails and our marriages fail and our relationships fail and when there's nothing else to do, be single and be happy being single and pray till you're dead and be happy being single. Or be with a white guy, which is no different than being with some ugly, undesirable black man. It's not what a black woman wants. But we have to settle. And white women get to sleep with whoever they want. And it's okay. No stigmas attached. Black women, I want you to know that I'm here for you and my brand is for you all. And I'm here to give you solutions that will work. And I'm here to address the problems that black women are silenced and afraid to talk about and don't talk about. And a lot of it has to do with sexuality. And black women go around acting like hoes and showing their pussies, putting your pussies all on screen and things like that, doing everything, showing the world how desperate and horny you are. Because we're the ones screaming out for love and attention and good sex. Because we're the ones who aren't getting it. We're the ones who have to be hoes for everyone else and be prostitutes for everyone else. But we can never get off. We never get married. We never get the guy we want. We, black women, have to make better choices and settle and force ourselves to love men who are undesirable to us. But he's a good guy. These are not good men. These are men who are ugly, who are undesirable, who are resentful that black women do not prefer his type, and who will elevate white women because white women will go for anything darker than her. Just like a black man will go for anything lighter than him. That's why black men and white women deserve each other. If it don't apply, let it fly. But to the majority of America, it does apply. Because white women and black men have been elevated as the sexual symbols of a preferential mate. When the reality of it is the black man is inferior and the white woman is more often than not worthless. It's the black woman who is sexy, who did all of the work in femininity, when the white woman did nothing to build this nation. Nothing. Inferiority deserves itself. That's why white women know that when they get with these black men, they are going a step down. Because they were raised better, they were bred better, they were bred to rule and to be superior. No matter how white trash you are still considered better than an elite black person. And you will still get treated better in most circumstances in America. And you know black people will treat white trash better than they'll treat black class. Because black people hate each other. And black men hate black women. Especially dark-skinned ones. They hate real black women. So if you don't look like a real black woman and you look mixed, you're going to get a lot of love from black men. But if you're a real black woman and you know how inferior our men are, because you've experienced the worst treatment from black men that other women don't experience, because they're not dark enough to be treated that bad, because America is programmed to mistreat dark and elevate light. Real black women know how inferior our men are. Real black women have experienced it. And it does not do a service for us to call each other kings and queens when we are not befitting of that definition as a race in America. We are not befitting of royalty, not most of us. Black people are illiterate, black people are ignorant, black people are unhealthy, and black people are very unattractive. Very unattractive. Black women are very ugly, wearing blonde weave, all types of weave, too much makeup, fake nails, fake hair, fake locks, fake everything. It's hideous. And the black man is hideous as well. Overweight, obese, looking like a crack baby. Smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day because you don't have any better way to deal with your stress relief and to deal with your inferiority and deal with your inability to elevate black women so you can get your crown back. The black man refuses to put the black woman on a pedestal. He does not want to be better. He wants to be like the white man. But he hasn't learned because he's inferior to the white man. He hasn't learned enough from the white man of how to rule. The white man doesn't mind using his woman to stay in power and using her to seduce black men into inferiority. But the black man can't stand the fact that black women date and marry white men. Even though the black woman is the only revolution, the black man is nothing. He may be something to white people, but he's nothing to the black woman. He's nothing. And a lot of black women, you may not relate because you married to a black man or you're married to a man who's passing as black because his dad was mixed and his mom was white, you know. But real sisters, you know what I mean. There's no black man, and the black man is the black man in America does nothing for the black woman in America. The government does everything for the black woman in America. The government is what helps the black woman start her business, get a good paying job, get the means to get education, even if she comes from dirt poor poverty, like I do. The government does everything to help the black woman. White society the black man does nothing to help the black woman. And when you look at business, black women are running it. The black man does nothing for the black woman. Now, some black women may disagree because you got a black man doing things for you. That will never negate the fact that the black man does nothing for the black woman in America. There's nowhere a black woman can go that black man dominate, and she can go to a black male organization and say, my husband is beating me. My husband is cheating on me. My boyfriend got me pregnant, or my boyfriend's doing this and this and that. And I need help, or I need therapy because I dealt with this situation from this black man or any man. There's nowhere a black woman can go that black men dominate, or even that black women dominate, where she can get help or justice or retribution or funding from a black organization, from a black male leadership. There's nowhere black women can go where she can say black men are doing something for black women. She must go to white society. She must go to the white women and the white men who collectively and individually can fund her ambitions. To the white society that can provide her eligible bachelors. And a lot of the white men prefer black women. So I just really wanted to address the stigma on black women about who we are attracted to, and why black women are single. And the fact of the matter is, it has nothing to do with us as black women other than the fact that we are black. So we have to bear the burden because our black men are inferior and they hate us, and they have sold us out to these fraternities and sororities that will give them a Hollywood gig or a political gig as long as he sells out his heritage. There's nowhere that the black woman can go. She can't even go to her sisters because black women are so busy competing with other black women who have a little bit more than they do, that black women sisters, you really can't trust these other sisters out